Here's the challenge. Smoking meat is a low and slow cooking process, while making pizza is the exact opposite. It's hot and fast. So, by nature, this is gonna be a tough thing to achieve. The question we ask ourselves today, can we smoke a pizza, but actually make it taste good? It's gotta be tasty. Now, I'm pretty sure I think I know a way how we can get this done, but I also totally just made this technique up in my head a couple days ago, so pray for us. Do I think this is gonna work? Yeah, if it's done right. If we overly smoke this pizza, it's gonna be disgusting, it's gonna be dried, and it's gonna have an acrid taste on the outside, so we need to kiss each pie with smoke. We can't just let the whole thing cook in there. Now, we've grilled pizza, and it does kind of impart this wonderful charry taste to the whole thing, but we've never smoked it. This is a completely new technique. This could actually be the video where you and I discover a whole new style of pizza. We'll just have to wait and see. These are the 3 doughs that we're gonna be working with today. But before we move on, we gotta understand an important fact. It's that smoke naturally binds very well to both water and fat. That being said, these 3 doughs have different water and fat contents. This Detroit style pizza is very high in hydration, meaning it has a lot of water, but 0 fat. There's no fat in this dough. Now the next one you might find familiar too. This is the Chicago Tavern Style, that thin crust that we love. This is a super low hydration and high fat dough. Lastly, this is my smoke mod, what we're calling it here, right? I kind of made this dough up. It's got super high hydration and super high fat. It looks kind of like it might be a Napoleon style dough, but Napoleon style doughs don't usually have fat in them. This one does. This is the one that I think is gonna take on the most smoke flavor. It's also gonna be the hardest to work with, you'll see. All right, wood-wise. Now, a nice mild fruit wood, like a cherry or an apple, would probably be ideal here because it's going to impart a more, like I said, mild flavor. However, I have hickory dock. It's a very strong, woody flavor. We are smoking something after all, so we're gonna taste that wood smoke for sure with our hickory. So that's what I'm popping on, just right on top. Like I said, the challenge of making pizza on a smoker is that smokers cook low and slow. So we're gonna use our pizza stone to hopefully get a little bit of head start cooking on the bottom and let that kind of lower heat and that smoke finish the top. Basically, I have a nice hot grill here with coals kind of evenly scattered on the bottom. I'm just gonna plop this on top and let it charge while we build our pizza. After all, we are smoking something, so. Coming on to 500, that's plenty hot. All right, so this is the hottest part of my smoker. I just know that from experience, right? Used this thing plenty of times. So I'm gonna pop our pizza up here towards the top where it's hottest. All right. Fits like a glove. Look at that. All right, let that get smoky again. Okay, we're gonna start with my smoke mod dough here, this jiggly boy. I'm gonna keep this one simple. I'm gonna make just cheese because I want to try the pizza kind of like bare bones to really, hopefully taste that smoke flavor. So you're gonna want plenty of flour. Should have floured the spatula. Look how gassy that is. Woo! I'm just gonna really flour my surface here. I'm just gonna push this out. Oh my God, it's so wet, dude. Beautiful dough. Will it look like a pizza? Stay tuned to find out. We can build. Again, keeping this one super plain. Got my peel here. Gonna flour the heck out of it because as we know, this pizza don't play. It's gonna be a cute little guy. Tiny bit of sauce. Chess. Remember, I'm keeping this one plain as to hopefully taste that smoke flavor. That is literally all I'm doing. I gotta get this thing off the peel before it sticks. Into the smoker. She goes. All right, fingers crossed. We got the smoker as hot as it can go. It's been about 10 minutes. Let's check on this bad boy. Okay, kind of exactly what I thought happened. Or was going to happen, happened, I should say. Oh, it's even pretty pale too, huh? All right, well, it looks, see, check it out. Look how pale that is. Like the cheese is nice and melty. It's got some nice grease on there. It actually doesn't look too bad, but that crust here, it's a little under and it's obviously extremely pale. And that bottom, we don't really have much color on there either. So I'm gonna leave this in a little longer, see if we can get it to at least take on a little bit of color, at least harden up a tiny bit. Yeah, we'll see. It needs more than 10 minutes, that's for sure. All right, so we got our other boy in the smoker still kind of trying to take on a little more smoke flavor, or at least we're hoping. Here we have our Detroit style pizza. As you can see, this is par baked, but it definitely still needs more time in the oven. So what we're gonna do here is, you can see here it's already taken a lot of caramelization and Maillard reaction. There's a lot of fat kind of on the bottom already. But remember, smoke sticks to liquid and fat. So basically what that means is like, I'm gonna take some olive oil here and I am going to simply brush the top and bottom of our Detroit style pizza here, just in hopes that the smoke clings to it a little more. Look how glistening and pretty that is. Looks like it just got off the beach. Because again, this is a pan pizza, right? But why would I put it in the pan when that could potentially block smoke? I'm gonna let this thing go in bare bones. Just to kind of kiss it with the smoke, we're gonna pop it right here, bam. And another thing I'm gonna do, remember, fat and liquid moisture. I got some water here. I'm just gonna kind of spray it over the top, just so that it doesn't dry out and go brown and gross and crusty on us. I did my best to make it as identical to Space Jam as possible.
Good job.
Thanks. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. All right. Looks pretty similar, maybe a little darker just from the smoke, It smells smoky. The bottom is still extremely pale. Obviously the top is still extremely pale. I don't want to cook this anymore because if I do, it's just going to turn into a dry, gross mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this aside and we're going to finish it in the oven upstairs. But, it mostly set with that heat and that smoke. So it should have some smoke flavor imparted in it. So, we'll just have to wait and see. As you can see, we lost a lot of heat here. It's already at 291, 292. So we're going to get that thing back up to like 500 on the grill again. All right, so we got about 100 degrees till we're ready to do our tavern. Let me hit that again. All right, so we got 100 degrees, almost ready to move on to our tavern. Our Detroit's been in there for about 15 minutes, getting that smoke. I've hit it with some water a couple of times, but I really don't want it to overcook into like a hard mess. It's already quite warm. So I'm gonna take that out. It smells smoky. See if it tastes smoky. And we're gonna finish this one inside too, because the whole thing, if you've seen my Detroit style pizza video, we'll link that somewhere, you already know, the whole point of a Detroit style pizza, at least for me, one of the biggest parts is the frico, which is that cheese edge around the corners, which gives it that ultra crispy, crusty, cheesy, kind of melted on crust. These temperatures are far too low to achieve that, so we've imparted it with smoke, hopefully. We're gonna finish this inside, just like our other pizza. All right, so here we have our tavern style pizza, and obviously with this style of pizza, it's very important that we get this to be a cracker-like consistency, right? Not quite a cracker, a little breadier, but nonetheless pretty dang crispy. I don't think we're gonna achieve that by doing it the way that we've been doing all day, so we're gonna try something a little different. Now for this pizza, because it's a tavern style, because we're in Chicago, because I know what I like, I'm gonna make this one have a little bit of giardiniera and some sausage. Hopefully some of that fat from the sausage renders out and catches a little bit more of that smoke as well. So what we're gonna do here is pop a little bit of sauce on, just enough to coat edge to edge with the tavern style. A little bit of chess. And my favorite combination of pizza topping is quite simple. Sausage and a generous scoop or 10 of spicy giardiniera. We're just gonna literally litter this pizza with jarred spicy pickled pepper condiment. If you want to learn how to make your own, I have a video for that too. We'll link it somewhere, of course. That looks good. Let's give it a wiggle test. Ooh. This is gonna be interesting. Right on top of our stone, keeping it on the grill so it stays hotter for longer. You can already hear it kind of sizzling a bit. We're gonna pop this lid on and allow it to cook from the top too. Probably leave that for about 5 minutes and then we'll check on it. Check on this bad boy. Ooh yeah, got a nice little head start here. Let's check that bottom. Yeah, better than it was when it was just in the smoker. All right, let's get this thing off that and into le smoke. I'm just gonna go bare bones here. Let this thing take smoke from the bottom and top. All right, let's shut her up. Let it take smoke for about 10, 15 minutes. All right, so it's been about 12 minutes. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm not hating what I see here. We're definitely cooked on the top, not as charry as I'd like to. The bottom actually has some color to it, which is good to see. That's probably because we let it sit on the stone a little longer. However, I do think that this needs a little bit of time in the oven, a little extra love to be super crispy and delicious. Kind of smells like smoke though. It's got this weird, kind of hot pepper smoke flavor to it, which could be really good. So let's take this inside. All right, we're gonna start building this Detroit pizza. How do we do that? Well, it starts with the edges, AKA the frico. I just have some wonderful cheddar cheese here. One thing to note about this cheddar is it is smoked. It's a smoked cheddar. So is it gonna make our pizza taste sort of smoky without actually being smoked? Sure. Is it cheating? Maybe. But I saw it at the store and I just couldn't resist. I know it's gonna melt nice and the color is gonna be cool. So we're gonna use it. But when we test our dough, we'll take that into account for sure to see which one is smokiest. So I'm just gonna load these side walls with this cheddar here because we want it to melt into cracks. Can never have too much frico. And of course, just our regular full-fat mozzarella that we've been using for all of our pizzas over the top. You don't need too much in the middle. Now remember, this crust has been par-baked, so it really only needs about 12 minutes in our preheated 500-degree oven, so that is where it's going. Right there. There you go. Gotta hit him with the racing stripes. Remember, sauce on the top with Detroit style. All right, all of our zaz are out of the smoker and the oven. Now we are gonna taste each one individually to see which is smokiest. All right, remember, I finished these two in the oven just to give them a little extra love. It's not cheating because it's not going to impart or take away any of that smoke flavor. That's already, at least in theory, should be infused. All right, what should we start with here? Okay, I think I'm gonna start with the one that I think is least smoky, and that's gonna be our Detroit style pizza. Man, maybe least smoky, but she do be pretty. Just take a quick look at it. You see the outsides here, we have that cheese kind of encrusted onto the sides here. That's that frico we were talking about. This is that smoked cheddar, remember, and we don't really wanna, I'm gonna try not to bite any of that cheddar, at least for the video here, because I don't want it to count as part of the smokiness of the pizza. But look at the bottom. How cool is that? And that cheese crust and that beautiful caramelization. All right, I'm gonna bite right here. Should give us the most chance to just taste the bread. Does smell a little smoky. It's not smoky at all. Okay, on the way out, as you exhale, you get a tinge of smoke with the actual crispy, crusty cheese part. Wow. Also not really that smoky. I mean, I guess I was right, which is kind of weird. Just took a wild guess. Remember, this one was already baked, so it's gonna be harder for that smoke to kind of penetrate inside the pizza, which is why I thought it was gonna be the least smokiest, and so far, it's not that smoky, even with the cheese. Next one, this is tough. This is tough. Here we got the smoke modification one, which has, remember, high fat, high moisture, a lot for the smoke to cling on. However, we cooked this one directly on the rack, so it really was getting that smoke from the bottom of it as well as the top. So this could be a sleeper. I'm gonna start with the Tavern and then we'll go on to the smoke mod. Remember, gave this one a little extra love in the oven just to kind of finish it off and give it the color we were looking for. All right, let's try it out. Okay, I bit into that giardiniera and that sausage. I'm gonna need a moment. I gotta clear the palate. All right, let's try that again. Going to not bite into any toppings. A tiny bit of smoke. A tiny bit of, like, if I tasted that and it came out of an oven, I would be like, there's something going on here. But it's not laced with smoke. It doesn't taste like it's been in the smoker all day, which, to be honest, it's kind of nice. It's very subtle. Good stuff, middle of the road smoke. Okay, last but not least, in theory, this smoke mod pizza should taste the smokiest, especially because we baked it from start to finish, you know, in that smoker. It's got a nice crumb. The bottom's got a little bit of char. Got sauce on my nose. Super chewy. Super high moisture, that's good crust. Wow, there's really not that much smoke flavor on this pizza. I would have thought that this one for sure was gonna win in the smoke factor, but if this one has not a lot of smoke flavor, this one has middle of the road smoke flavor, this one has like middle lower of the road smoke flavor, so not very smoky at all. I really would have thought that, you know, there'd be smoke kind of lodged into the crumb and the bread and just in general. Which means the smokiest flavor goes to the low hydration, high fat Tavern Style pizza. Tavern Style wins. Woo! I think we learned some pretty valuable lessons today. Even though your dough has a higher hydration, it's kind of all about the fat, right? That smoke wants to cling to the fat, and that's exactly what happened here. It clearly doesn't matter if this is higher hydration. This one was lower hydration, higher fat, tastes smokier. But I mean, I gotta keep it real. None of these pizzas are like outstandingly smoky, and all in all, it's just not worth smoking your pizza. I don't think you're really gonna get that much smoke flavor on your pizza by smoking it. So yeah, don't do this. Okay, so to answer the question, So to answer the question, can you smoke a pizza? The answer, yes. Should you smoke a pizza? No. I would say definitely not. Definitely not worth your time. Y'all know the drill. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the Chansky if you're new here. If you're not new here, what's good, welcome back. The best way to support us and the work that we're doing here is over on Patreon. For literally $5 a month, you can get a bunch of extra stuff, fun giveaways, exclusive recipes, the whole shadiddly. TY, so much for watching, and until next time, ciao.